everyone, I'm going to be using the Mineral Makeup Primer to set my eyes. I always like to start off with my eyes rather than my face, just in case I get any fallout from my shadows. I'm not having to fix up my foundation later on. And then I'm going to be using the Flawless Color Concealer as a base for my eyeshadows, and this is in the shade Fair Nude. This just gives the eyeshadows something to stick to so they aren't sliding around all day. And then I'm using a beauty sponge that I spritzed with the mineral setting spray. I'm just going to be using this to apply the concealer. And I like to go over my brows to prep for my brow pomade, which I am going to start off with. And I'm using the shade Medium. And I like to comb through my eyebrows first with a spoolie just to make sure there aren't any clumps of concealer. And then I like to start off by tracing the bottom of my brow to the tail. And then I'll do a little bit on the top end of the tail as well. And then I will let the bristles of the brush just comb through my brow hairs. And I find that this looks the most natural and blown out. I don't really like super perfect eyebrows on me. And then I like to spoolie my brow hairs down and just trace the top of the brow and just do any tweaking and filling in that I need. And then I just comb through them. And then I'm just going to repeat on the other side as well. And then I will take the concealer again, and then I just like to put a little dab on my back of my hand. And I like to just trace underneath and on top of the eyebrow just to clean up the edges. This kind of leaves a little more room for error. As you're first starting, you don't have to worry about being perfect the first time. Then I'll just use the beauty sponge just to blend all the edges out. And then I am going to use the Cover Up powder. This is completely optional, this step is, but I like to use this to set the concealer on my eyes so that it doesn't crease underneath the shadows. And then for shadows, I'm going to be using the Baked Eyeshadow Palette in the Northern Lights, and I'm going to be using a fluffy brush and using that light brown taupe shade in the crease area. And then with a stiffer crease brush, I'm going to be using that darkest shade in the outer corner. I'm going to be kind of creating a V, and then I just build that pigment up and then I blend it into the crease. I like it very seamless, and I'm using windshield wiper motions and then tiny swirls to blend and blow out that crease. And then I'll just reuse that fluffy brush that I used with the crease color to finish blending it out. And then I'm using a dense flat eyelid brush to apply that cream color. And then I like to spritz my brush just lightly and go in again. And this just makes the color a little more pigmented, and it's also going to make it a little more sparkly, more metallic. And then I'll also highlight the inner corner and under the brow bone. And then I'm going to be just curling my lashes really quickly. I pump about 10 times at the base and then pump to the tip of the lash. And then I'm going to be using that dark shade again with a liner brush, and I'm going to spritz that brush really quick, and then I'm going to be working that into the lash line. I know I keep going out of focus, but I am just working in very small sections. I am not dragging from one end to the other. I'm just working very small sections and working from the outer corner to the inner corner. And then I know it's really bad, but I do pull on the outer corner of my eye just to create a straighter line. And then I'm applying the mineral mascara in the shade Black, and I just wiggle at the very base of the lashes, and then I blink as I pull to the end of the lash. And this just helps not get clumps. And then I use about 2 coats, and on the second coat I will use the rest of it to distribute between the 2 eyes. And then I'm going to go on to the face. I'm using the Mineral Makeup Primer again, and then I'm just applying that to my entire face, making sure I get my neck. And I'm gonna be starting off with the Pink Brightening shade of the Flawless Color Concealer, and I'm just going to apply that under my eyes and a little bit down my nose. This just helps brighten the under eye area, and it will help with any dark circles, which I don't really have, but I just like the effect of it, brightening my under eye, and a little goes a long way. You do not need a lot. And then I just spritzed a beauty sponge again, and I am just dabbing that and pressing that under my eyes, and this just helps blow it out. And then I am the shade Cashmere for the liquid foundation. During the winter time, when I'm not as tan, I will be a combination of buff and cashmere. And then I use about 1 pump to start off with, dot it across my face, and then I go in with this Kabuki from Lemongrass, and I just press that and do gentle swirls if any, and just press that into my skin. I do not like to drag the product across my skin. That will accentuate brush strokes. I just like to press, and then I do make sure that I get it into my hairline, especially if I'm going to be pulling my hair back like I am today, so that there isn't a line of demarcation. And you also want to make sure you go down your neck. And then I'm just going to repeat the same steps with a second coat. And then I'm going to go in with the shade Pink Sweet Cheeks, which is a neutral cool tone blush. And this one is going to be a shimmery blush. And then I just apply it to the apples of my cheeks, and then I kind of follow the contour line. I have naturally very rosy cheeks, so I kind of like to mimic the area that I already have a natural rose color. And then I just am pressing this in. I am not really swirling or dragging. And then I do like to pull it up into the hairline. On the days that I'm going to do a true contour, I will skip this step, but since I'm not doing contour today, I will like to bring it up to the top just to add some dimension. And then the rest of that concealer that I had on the back of my hand, I'm just using the sponge to apply that to my T-zone to brighten the center of my face. And then I am using a very fluffy brush and the Pink Veil setting powder to blend everything together. I know it sounds weird to use setting powder after blush, but I find that this makes it look very seamless. And then I use a more dense brush for the under eye area and for the T-zone, and I'm just pressing, not dragging. And then for highlight, I'm going to be using the Strobe stick, and I'm going to be just dotting that along the tops of my cheekbones, under my eyebrow, and then down through my T-zone. I don't like to put it on the tip of my nose because that looks kind of weird on my nose. And then I just use a beauty sponge to press that in to the skin, and this looks really flawless. And then I'm just taking that same dense eyeshadow crease brush that I used in the beginning with the dark shade, and I'm just using whatever's left on the brush to just diffuse the under eye area. And then I'm just going to gently and lightly coat the bottom lashes. On a normal day, I actually will just completely skip this step. I usually don't like the look of mascara on my under eye. I don't know why. And then for lips, I'm going to be going in with our new formulation of lipsticks, and this is in the shade Flirt. And I am using a lipstick brush to line the outside of my lips, and then I will be going in with the lipstick itself to fill it in, and I'm just going to press it into my lips. I'm not going to really glide it. And then I'll just use that same lip brush again to blend the rest of it out. And this uses up the least amount of product using this method. This is a really great neutral rosy pink that's going to be great for all skin types. Then I'll just finish off the look with misting with the setting spray, and that is it. I hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know what you think of this style, and bye-bye.